My name is Wilke, and I've been working for the Nature Conservancy in Iowa for almost 9 years now. I grew up in the Chicago suburbs at the dead end of a street that butted right up to a woods. And so I grew up playing in those woods, exploring the water and wildlife that resided there. And I started to develop a love of protecting nature by picking up trash with my dad in those woods every year. And so that's kind of where it all began. Fast forward to college, I studied geography at Augustana College, and one of my professors there had a real deep enthusiasm for water, and that enthusiasm was quite contagious, and it caught on. And we spent my years in college on our college boat on the Mississippi River, just learning all about rivers and water systems, and that love just really grew and grew for water. And so I continued on studying water and had many different positions before I worked for the Nature Conservancy, doing environmental education, doing invasive species management outside, doing grant writing for nonprofits, for Fish and Wildlife, for Corps of Engineers, kind of all over the place. Lots of different internships with AmeriCorps and Student Conservation Association. And all of those positions were great, but it was maybe too much of one thing. It was too much grant writing all the time, or too much being outside all the time. And so I really love my job right now. It's a really great balance of all of those things. And one of my favorite parts now about working for the Nature Conservancy is this focus on water. I finally come back to water and been able to focus on protecting water and restoring these critical habitats. And I hope to be sharing that enthusiasm that was shared with me with the landowners that I work with and with the partners that I work with and in my outreach and education efforts. I really love talking about and sharing my love of water. And I also love this job for the concrete, tangible, kind of lasting results that we get with these restorations. I can look back on the restorations that I did 9 years ago and see on aerial imageries these wetlands that I restored back then, and they're still there and they're still performing. And I can go back and visit them and see the fish and the great blue heron and the beavers that are benefiting from that habitat that I helped to create. Iowa feels like home to me. The people are so friendly. I like just the slow pace culture, and it's beautiful. And you know, it is the #1 state that has been altered. The landscape has been altered, and so I like being able to return the habitat that was once here and see how that can start to come back. I get energized being around water. I like seeing the teeming life that resides and benefits from water. I mean, all life depends on water. Clean water, you know, water just being there, just allowing space for water on the landscape. And so I just really love being able to bring that back to the landscape and being near it. We love kayaking, I love paddleboarding, just being near a river or the ocean. You know, it's a little far from us, but I do love being near water, and I do feel a personal connection to it. I have 2 kids. Gavin just turned 7 years old, and Emmett is 4, but soon to be 5. So 2 boys. They keep me on my toes and exhausted, but we have a lot of fun. And they too like to be outside, so whenever we're restoring these wetlands, I like to bring them on the job, especially when the big excavator is going to be out there digging. They sure love seeing that, and I hope that I'm passing on my enthusiasm to them too. So if I could just do one thing for the rest of my life, I would be working with landowners to actually do the restorations. I love being out in the field, doing surveys in the wetlands. I love watching the restoration. I love going back and surveying them for fish. So all of that like really hands-on work is awesome. I understand the need to do the permits and the contracts and all those other things are equally as important, and that job wouldn't get done without it. But I sure love being out and working with landowners and learning their story about their relationship to the land, and helping them fulfill their goals to make their land even more valuable to them, and the benefit that they'll get from this beautiful restoration that's now on their land. So if I could speak for the wetland, since the wetland can't speak for itself, I would want people to know how tremendously important I am for all aspects of life, the whole circle of life. Every single animal, bug, human depends on healthy water, and to respect and protect that and love it and cherish it and enjoy it. It's a beautiful thing.